Welcome to the Mojo Market Report. Here's your hosts, Dave Sturchio and Chris Gueci.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Mojo Market Report right here on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, April the 18th, 2023. And of course, it is Dave Sturchio, Chris Gueci on the other side of the world over there. We hope you guys are having a great Tuesday, great start to your week. All of you new viewers out there, because we see this stuff, okay? There's actually an influx of new people watching each and every day of the Mojo Market Report. Welcome and buckle up because it's a ride. We have ourselves a loaded show today. One guy got paid in the NFL, how that's going to affect the rest of the league. And, of course, the NBA playoffs rolled on last night. Embiid did his thing. Maxey did his thing. Then at the end of the night, Draymond did a little too much thing to get himself ejected again. And, of course, his post-game press conference, very, very cringeworthy. We'll get into it. But first, we have to start with the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, because that is the name of the game. And Chris is off camera now because he's waiting for that sneeze. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. But listen. Big money was just divvied out yesterday by the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? They give Mr. Jalen Hurts a $255 million extendo. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Congratulations to his agent. I don't know if you saw that whole article on how that all played out. She literally DM'd him, after college and was like, hey, if you don't have an agent, give me a chance. And he's like, all right, give her a chance.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she's got 10%.
She was on the come up, though, because now she's the head of football operations for Clutch Sports. So she's it's like she's now since become a legitimate agent. She's also Quinnen Williams' agent. She's got a couple
Quinnen Williams, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be.
That's the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah. So just making sure I got the correct Williams and the correct Quinnen.
Yeah. The crazy part about this is it's $51 million a year. That's the annual value of it, which is, if you actually think about it, it's basically $1 million a week in life. So it's just imagine making that kind of money to play a game known as football that we all know and love. But this is the part that trips me up. We'll get into the repercussions of all this around the league. But did you see Schefter's breakdown of the cap hits every year?
Yeah, it's a very good deal for Philly.
Yeah. So, okay. Howie, Mr. Roseman, how do you do it? Because I don't know how this happened. In 2023, Jalen Hurts, this year, his cap hit will be $6.15 million. Next year, $13.56 million. 2025, $21.77, and then he really breaks the bank in 2026 with a $31.77 million hit to the cap. This is the Olympics or the gymnastics that Pat McAfee once upon a time talked about. This doesn't make sense to me. How does this work?
I wouldn't even say this is the
Where
gymnastics.
was this when Dak's deal was up?
Well, let's just use Dak's deal as a cautionary tale. Kyler's deal as a cautionary tale. The Eagles have really good people in their front office right now.
Clearly
They really do. And they're using what they've seen from other teams. That's why Miles Sanders walked. They're letting these guys go because that's the nature of the league right now. You got to tip your cap. I don't know how it's going to work out in the back end because to me it looks too good to be true. So I'm sure there's an outlier somewhere where it's like, is there a back? The money just doesn't add up. So eventually it's going to have to, something's got to give. So I feel like there's something happening on the back end where there's a bigger cap hit somewhere.
I'm going to have to just look it up just to see if Over the Cap has the new numbers because sometimes sometimes they're on it, sometimes they're not. Jalen Hurts, yeah, they don't have his new deal yet, but it's just. What about Sport Track? Is there another one?
Look,
but anyway, go ahead.
It's a good deal for Jalen, obviously. It's a better deal for the Eagles, and that's crazy to say. If it is in fact those are the cap hits that we saw, we're just going to go based on those numbers because that's what we got right now.
Came from Schefter, so therefore
that's what we got right now. So it's a solid deal. It leaves room for them to be able to work things out down the line. Obviously they're losing a lot of players on the defensive side of the ball this year, but they managed to keep a lot of guys in-house, and I think that the Eagles have a solid core. The bigger question here is not whether he deserves it, not whether or not he's going to live up to it, because 8 out of 10 of these quarterbacks that are in the top 10 or 15, we'll just say this. Most of these guys are overpaid. I would say you could make the case based on a couple contracts that a Josh Allen could be considered underpaid. But we're going to see certain deals come about in the next couple weeks, if not year or two, that might blow this one out of the water.
Yeah, so that's where I was going with a lot of this stuff. Because obviously Jalen Hurts, again, earned, gets to the Super Bowl, right? He was a second-round pick. He fell to the second round. So it's like this is a nice little story for him. And, this continues his legacy in Philadelphia. So now what will Philadelphia be able to do around him? Usually when you pay the quarterback, you get crippled around the salary cap. This doesn't cripple the Philadelphia Eagles. They have made significant moves. They've lost some pieces on defense. They do have A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith eventually is going to want to get paid, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know what he earns, but
Juju deal, tops.
Maybe,
I mean, like these
right?
guys, just because he's a young receiver, he's not lighting the league on fire. He is who he is. He's a solid player. Deshaun Jackson type deals. Like nothing. He's not going to reset the market. He's not going to approach even 20. No way.
No. Well, now I don't think they can afford it. But in any event, what does this do for the rest of the market? Now, you have to be kicking yourself in the head if you could do that, if you're physically able to do that. Maybe Lamar can, because Lamar Jackson is still sitting there without a new deal. The franchise tag has been applied, right? Not signed by any stretch. What does this do for him? I mean, he has to realize that, once upon a time, he had an offer on the table for a lot of guaranteed money. I think he's got to concede here and say, look, I'm not going to get all the guaranteed money like I want, but I'm going to get a lot of it. If you look at the Hurts deal, the guarantee was what, $180, right? So that's right around where Lamar was at originally. So what's the holdup here, man? Does Lamar Jackson think? I mean, does that MVP season really just dictate what this guy has earned over time?
I think there's a perfect storm of things that took place around this situation. This is dating back to a beef that started between the Ravens and Lamar when they tried to, I'm not playing on the 5th-year option. So that was right away him bucking back a little bit, and then the Deshaun Watson deal comes out, and it's right around the time where he's trying to start negotiating his new deal. So he was next up after Watson, and based on the way the market typically works is Watson gets what he gets, and that's the new market. So Lamar went into this negotiation thinking well, I owe it to the league, and I owe it to myself, and the players behind me, whatever you want to look at it. Realistically, he just wants the most money possible. But on the heels of that deal, that's what I'm trying to get to, right? And then what happens is the NFL buck back. They weren't having it. GMs around the league just got out on Lamar. I don't think that there's a realistic expectation that no team is interested in Lamar, right?
That's not a possibility.
But no team is interested in
that money.
In this money,
No.
and what it does for the guys. We're looking at Burrow, Herbert. We're looking at even Lamar. We're looking at T-Law in a year. These guys are going to get massive deals as well.
Oh, my God. I forgot all about Lawrence.
You can't keep on just giving out guarantees. This is good. This is good. We have the premier quarterback in the league right now who is not the premier, but the one that was about to be the highest paid in Jalen Hurts.
Listen, he was in the Super Bowl last year. You can't take that away from the guy.
He's pretty much redictating.
And had a great game, too.
He's redictating what the quarterback market should be. So this should be a good thing for Lamar and the Ravens because now they have good parameters here. I don't think it's going to be a worse deal. I don't think it's going to be much better, but it could be a little bit worse. But Lamar is going to get a massive deal from the Ravens.
So let's play GM
massive
here.
Deal.
Let's play GM here for a second. If Hurts got $255, right, over the term, if the Ravens came back and said, we'll give you $255 too, but your guarantee is $200, aren't you running to that?
Yes. I think if they,
he was close to that.
Truly, I think if they were like, yo, Eagles, send us that paperwork real quick, and they just slid it to Lamar, he should sign the same deal. I would. I mean,
you would. I would. Everybody, the viewer would. But yeah, I mean, Lamar's got to. I don't want to say yes, he bet on himself, and yes, he's strong on his morals, and I get all that. And he's got to get all the guaranteed money because of the way he plays the football game, right? The guy is a run-first quarterback, and you can't tell me nothing. I understand he had one good season of passing the football. That's great. That's all well and good.
But
when you play that style of football, you got
team. They don't. He has a weapon now, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So we have not. We've talked about this. I think the Ravens are a run-first team. They've built their offense around what Lamar could do best, and that's kind of what's been what it's been. They didn't give him receivers. They have a tight end who. Great player, but he's in
fell
and out.
off a little bit.
Yeah, it's not that he's in and out of the lineup. It's just that when you only have one guy to worry about outside of Lamar. But when we're talking about in the passing attack, it makes things a little bit easier to to negate his ability to beat you.
I agree. And speaking of that weapon, Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. has popped up on the Mojo market. He is officially on the market right now, so you can invest in Odell Beckham right now at the share price of $16.34, which wedges him right between Jalen Waddle and Christian Kirk. Appropriate? Makes sense. Year off, right? I mean, like
I have to look at the actual.
The crazy part is
like where do they project him at?
Oh yeah. So here's the crazy part. He has got a future bank value of $2.75, where he averages 1.5 a year. So the Mojo market is saying, go prove it, Odell, because we're not gonna be like, oh, he's back. The hype is real. Here we go.
Basically, to me, what they have at Odell right now is one more full season of expectations, because if his average bank value is like $1,
it's $1.51.
51, right? Mm-hmm. He's missed about half the games that he's been available for in his career.
Sure.
I would say around.
Fine.
Give or take. So
fair.
If he was to play fully healthy this entire time, you would imagine that it's around $253 that he would have per season banked value. One more year of fully healthy Odell?
One more year, and they're also saying the Mojo people might be basing this off of the fact that it's a 1-year deal. You know, like what if this year happens and he winds up, he's not that great, or he lost a step, and we're not going to re-sign him, and all of a sudden it's Odell watch all over again this year. They
should also base it off the fact of like, well, he might also do what he did in the Super Bowl run.
He might,
but
You're
then
right.
he gets hurt.
Right, you never know.
There's a lot of variables. I think it's a good market projection. I'm steering way clear of Odell in the Mojo market.
Absolutely. All right, we had some NBA action last night, ladies and gentlemen. The playoffs
real quick.
continue.
Who gets paid first? Saquon, Odell.
Saquon, Odell.
Saquon, Lamar, Evan Ingram, and then there's one other guy that's a cap that's holding out right now.
Evan Ingram's playing on the franchise tag.
Yeah, but he's not at camp. He's not on OTAs.
Really?
These guys, there's 4 guys that skipped. It was Saquon.
Well, Saquon didn't sign the franchise tag, so that's we knew that. But like we know that what's this guy's
skipping without a new deal. I've read that Evan Ingram was good, but it's
all these Gettleman guys. What are you doing there?
Who's the 4th guy? Never mind. Anyway, move on. It's going to be Saquon, by the way. Or no, Lamar. Lamar.
I don't know if Saquon gets the deal.
Saquon's going to play on that 1-year deal.
You would hope. You would think. If you're a Giants fan, you're hoping
Saquon's situation is going to be treated like Le'Veon Bell was treated with Pittsburgh.
Well, how'd that work out for Le'Veon Bell? His career went to the dumper.
Well, in the first season, where he was holding out up until he won the rushing title. So this year he could really do well.
We'll see. Anyway,
no practice, rushing title.
Right. Last night, we had some more NBA action in the playoffs. The 76ers continue their path of destruction as they take down the Brooklyn Nets one more time, 96-84. Was close for a little while. Little inspired basketball in the beginning of this game by the Brooklyn Nets. And again, for as far as my props go, I couldn't catch a break last night at all. I took Harden on the points. He scored 8. They had him set at 21.32. He went 3 for 13 from the field, and they still did wonderfully towards the end. I actually took the over. What did I tell you last night? I said, take the over on Joel Embiid. It's just going to be one of those things where he's just take the over on everything they set. They set it at 33. He scores 20. I didn't hit that either. But Maxey, like I said, that's somebody to keep your eye on going forward. But now the 76ers have a 2-0 lead. We said it yesterday after the first game that it was kind of like, this one's going to be just a drag out, just 76ers are going to dominate. That still remains true, right? I mean, a little inspired basketball here for the Nets. Now they get to go home. Do they pick a game off? Do you think it's a clean sweep?
I don't think anybody really cares in Brooklyn right now about the Nets. They don't have this crazy allegiance.
Do you remember once upon a time what they were? It's
I do remember, but those guys aren't there anymore, and even those fans were fly-by-night fans because they were from New Jersey. Now they're in Brooklyn. It's the whole anti-Knicks thing.
Silly.
So they don't have this like crazy loyal fan base when they're down 0-2 in a series that they're probably going to get swept. That place is going to be like
crickets.
I'm not really.
Continental Airlines Arena crickets.
Yeah, the Sixers are going to roll in this series, even if they do steal a game. Oh well. What's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't look good.
Maxey dropping 30 pieces. Embiid does pretty much whatever he wants.
I can't believe.
He doesn't even remember getting dunked on, he said. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
He got dunked on?
Bad. Cam Thomas yammed on Embiid, and they asked him about it after the game. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I saw the game.
What did I miss?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he was doing it, maybe making a joke out of it. But I got to ask you, just based off of what I saw last night out of Embiid, the way he moves around without the ball, he's very fluid. He's a guard with a stature of a center. Does this guy win MVP or what? He's a finalist. It's him, Giannis, and of course the Joker. Who wins? Need a gun to your head right now. Who's winning MVP?
I think the Joker should win, but he's not going to based on like the politics of the NBA. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. JJ Redick ruined every opportunity for this guy to win MVP.
No. Not even because of that. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with like if he doesn't have a playoff, he has no. Look at the 3-time MVPs in NBA history. Look at the back-to-back-to-back. Bro, if you almost can. It's like I'll be completely shocked if the NBA.
So you're narrowing it down to Embiid and Giannis.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be Giannis.
Just based off the fact
that
one
seed I like him
dominating
more.
all season long.
I don't know enough about the nuances of that race per se. So I could completely look like an idiot by actually making my prediction here.
I'm going Giannis just because the Bucks are one of the best teams in basketball.
Pretty much pick your poison. I think it should be Joker, but they're not going to give it to him. I don't know his name is not the actual Joker, but
yeah, that's a tale for another day. Anyway, moving on to the end of the night, where again you would think that the Warriors would come back like barnstormers, and they just did not. And then there was times in this game where I was just I cannot believe that the Kings are about to be up 2-0. And sure enough, they finish it off 114-106. 2-0 series lead by the Kings. Now they go into very hostile territory. You know how the Oracle or whatever they call it, that place goes nuts every time the Warriors are in town. Steph Curry's threes, tried to play the over. He only hit 3 out of the 5 that I needed. I went with Fox again to try to think, you know what? He's going to have himself another game. He did, 24 points, but they set him at 27. I lost some change yesterday, just for the record. The Mojo market ate my money up. I went for Curry on the points. Set at 31. He scored 28. But the biggest thing here I have to take away from this is Draymond Green. Now, look, this guy, I don't know if his goal was to be the next our generation's Dennis Rodman, even though Dennis Rodman was in our generation. But
he didn't disappear for the night, and he was at the game.
That's true. He did play. He didn't go to Vegas. But like I will say this, Draymond Green trying to play it off saying he pulled my leg.
He did pull his leg. 100% pulled his leg.
WWE stomped him.
Look.
He's trying to get out. You could tell. You see in the video. Watch the video. It's all over the place. He's trying to get out.
I'm not saying that what Draymond did wasn't completely,
It was egregious, dude. It was horrible.
You know what I'm about to say, right?
No. So right. Go on and say things. As long as we don't get canceled here.
He 100% grabbed his leg. And now, mind you,
while he's on the ground.
Yeah, I'm a Kings fan. I like the Warriors. I like Draymond. I really like Sabonis. I drafted him in a fantasy keeper league, and that folded. But I've had Sabonis.
So he's technically retired as a Chris Gueci member.
Yeah, I can't even say my team name on air. Woo! But he did grab his leg.
Okay.
There's no question about it. If you don't think he grabbed his leg, I don't know what anyone's watching. That's a foul, right? Deal. He grabbed his leg. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? You grab his leg. All right. But you happen to grab Draymond Rodman's leg, right?
Right.
So wrong leg to grab because then it was like a WWE stomp. He tried to make it like he was getting out of it.
It was so animated.
But which one was more animated? Was it Draymond flopping on the stomp, or was it Domantas Sabonis rolling around, writhing in pain, like
he's a
bro? I watch fights and boxers and football players get lit up, and I'm not. I understand why the NBA players do this, and trust me, I'm not the guy that's like, the flop. I love it all. But it wasn't as bad. They were like, they're taking him for X-rays. I was like, what? What? Come on.
All right. Well, anyway, he got ejected.
Negative.
Yeah, he got ejected, and then now, and the Warriors are down 2-0.
I love it, by the way.
Can the Warriors?
I hope there is a fist fight.
Can the Warriors bounce back from this? This is a nice little hole for them to be in.
100% can bounce back. They took care of their home court. If the Warriors take care of theirs, and then it's, hey man,
you got to pick one off in Sacramento, but you have to do that.
Wasn't like they're getting completely blown out of the water here. They're in the game, and look, Steph Curry. These guys played bad. These guys aren't playing well. Did Jordan Poole play? I don't even think Jordan Poole played. I was like doing a break last night while watching the game, so it was a little, but.
Poole played 16 minutes.
So only 16 minutes.
Yeah. The biggest thing I'm seeing here, like if you look at the box score, right, there's a 2-point differential in the box score 2. And it was in favor of the Kings by 2. They only outscored them by 2 the second half. Is that crazy? Like, that just shows you that these games are going to get tighter and tighter as the time goes on. So you got to get off to these fast starts.
Yeah, there's a little desperation. I wonder if they're going to do anything crazy and suspend Draymond.
I think they'll look at the tape. They'll see the leg grab and fine him. You suspend Draymond. If the NBA suspends Draymond off of this, I'm more concerned about the post game. Like, he's just saying, like, ref didn't see it. Don't know what the refs are looking at. Like, he's always directing his stuff right at the referees. That's how you get in trouble. You start dissing the referees. You know, you're asking for trouble.
I'm more concerned about, like, what he was doing with that fan. Like,
oh yeah. First of all, there's like 6 minutes left.
You're down.
And it's like 6 minutes left in the game. You're like, I'm like,
I would be like,
doing?
Enough is enough with the charade. I understand he brings a lot to the team. He does, and
he brings grit. I'll give him that.
Look, when we're talking about, he's a good player for an NBA team because he's
going to be a warrior for life. I don't know if anybody takes on this guy.
The problem is that, well, no, he'll bounce around at the late in his career.
Maybe.
What do you think? He's like Udonis Haslem? I don't think he's. I think he's got a little bit more of an ego to stick around. If somebody's going to pay, he's not going to get paid the money that he wants.
He's got a podcast. He's fine.
True.
Anyway, tonight, 3 more games in action. Let's get some picks here. The Hawks visiting Boston again. I think this is where the Hawks shine a little bit. I'm taking the Hawks to win this game. I took the Hawks to win that play-in game, so everybody looked at me like I was crazy.
Go ahead and say I won't pick the Hawks in any game. I don't care how good they look in any of them. They didn't look good in the last one.
But
Boston's just...
I'm well aware how good Boston is. I just think that this series is not going to be a sweep, and if there's anything to be had, there's going to be one team to steal one on the road, and it might be Atlanta. Maybe. That's just the way I look at it. But then, obviously, the one that I'm more concerned about is the New York Knicks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 2 tonight. Josh Hart is doubtful. Sprained his ankle. That's not good. He's a significant role player for this team. The morale when this guy's on the court alongside Jalen Brunson has been fantastic. That might show its ugly head soon. They're gonna need another big.
Are you gonna watch the Knicks game with Laverne at the chamber meeting tonight?
That's out. I just realized that I thought I was gonna do something. That is now canceled. Anyway, because I'm going to watch the Knicks and the New York Rangers.
I just realized
are back.
I was like, Dave thinks that he's going to some Chamber of Commerce meeting today.
I was trying to be a good. I don't even know what I was trying to be.
Samaritan network a little bit
of the city of Matawan. But anyway. They got to find a second guy to score tonight. Brunson's going to take over the game, as he always does. Randall has to be on his game, but they got to find that third guy. I said second guy before. They got to find that third guy to contribute, because if Spider Mitchell does his thing again tonight, which I don't know if you could duplicate what he just did in the first game, but chances are he's still going to try to take over. They're down 1-0, so they need this game.
Just wait until he gets to play in the Garden.
I don't want to. What are you, from Sheboygan?
Yeah. You didn't know that, bro? You're all the way over there in Sheboygan.
Bro, I can't wait till he drops up in the Garden.
Over there in the Garden.
Another one to keep your eye on is the LA Clippers taking on the Suns tonight. And, of course, the Suns need a little bit of revenge ski, and I think they get that tonight. I think Kevin Durant sees all the attention going on to Westbrook. You brought up a stat in pre about Westbrook, which is very, very crazy when it comes to Westbrook. Look, you went 3 for the century, okay? Double century,
right? He filled
the
stat sheet with a bunch of other things, though. Missed shots, indeed, but he filled the stat sheet. And when you got... Look, there's one guy that's earning 19 shots on that court, and it's Russ. I'm going to tell you why. There was 59 possessions on game 1, or was it game 1? Yeah.
59.
59 separate possessions game 1 where Russell Westbrook guarded either Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, or Chris Paul.
Okay, the big 3 over there.
They had a combined 6 points on any of those. So basically, if you were guarded by Russell Westbrook, you didn't score that day.
Imagine that. Defense, NBA. What a crazy concept.
I think Russ just found a new role for himself in the league, not just the Clippers, but in the league. That's going to be guys like that are what put you over the hump when you get into the postseason. You have a guy who has the ability that Russ has, that's willing to sell out on the defensive side. Woo! Coaches are going to love it. Russ is going to be one of the best teammates. Russ might be turning into a player where it's like he's no longer a detriment. Just sick him. Russ, go get him. Defense. And that could really put you over the hump. Clippers are a dark horse for me in the West because if Kawhi Leonard hits shots...
Yeah, but you said the Suns were going to wipe the floor with these guys.
Yeah, until I watched Kawhi Leonard turn into like the Raptors Kawhi the other day. Right? He was hitting big threes late in the game. And I don't know, man. There's just like something about him in the playoffs. I think KD is soft, but
we'll talk about it.
They still have the best. I mean, the Nuggets look good too. West is fun right now.
The West is fun.
Lakers
we can talk about it more tomorrow as the West has one more game on the dock tonight to go into tomorrow. So that's 3 games on the dock tonight. You can follow us along with all the fun on social media at TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Mojo, M-O-J-O. Very easy to find us. You can find us also on the Discord. That's the daily conversation happening. That all your questions and your comments and your suggestions, it's all there. Go check it out. But I'm telling you right now, the best thing to have right now and the only thing to have right now is the Mojo app. That is the way you get all your latest news, all your latest ins and outs, all your latest transactions, what the market's dictating based off contracts. We saw if you had Hurts in your portfolio, you went up a nice significant chunk yesterday with his multiplier. I think it was offered like 10-time multiplier. So all of a sudden he went up, I believe, 1.6. So about 15% your stock would have went up yesterday just based off a contract. So if you think Justin Herbert's next, Joe Burrow's next, Lamar's next, get in on them right now and then cash in when they cash in.
Oh, it was Josh Jacobs, by the way. Was the other guy that is also said he was going to play under the tag, but he's not showing up to OTAs.
But I thought he was the one to say, like, I'll be a Raider forever or something like that.
But they still want money. QB1 reported yesterday, if you guys didn't know who QB1 is, that is Jordan Love. And guess what? It was snowing over there in Sheboygan.
I can't wait till Mitchell Spider Mitchell shows up in the garden.
Can't wait until he drops 50 in the garden.
Thanks, John. Anyway, Dave Sturchio, Chris Gueci, another episode of the Mojo Market Report. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow with some more NBA.